Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss the last part of July current affairs based questions. So let's start with 71st question. Arrange the following project in chronological order. Why I have asked this question? Because recently means in 2020 July, Kruma app was launched by Indian Turtle Conservation Action Network in collaboration with Turtle Survival Alliance India. Okay, why they have launched this app for conservation of turtles and tortoise in India. So what is this organization? This organization, Turtle Survival Alliance, is formed as an part of International Union Conservation of Nature to conserve turtles, especially Asian turtles. These Asian turtles is highly exploited by the Chinese, who are using these turtles for food and other medical purposes. So to conserve these turtles, Turtle Survival Alliance was established by the IUCN, and now these Turtle Survival Alliance with Indian Turtle Conservation Action Network combinedly they have launched Korma app. So what to do with these projects? Sea Turtle project was launched in India when? In 1999. Okay, like this there are many projects launched to conserve many animals, that are Project Tiger, Project Crocodile Conservation, Project Sea Turtle, Project Rhino, Project Hungle, Project Snow Leopard, and Project Dolphin. It's announced in 2020 by the PM during independence speech. So when it has started, 1973. This thing already I have discussed in the previous videos. This is started 1975. This one 1999. This one 2005. This one 2010. This one 2009. This one 2020. It has announced but not officially started yet. So you should know the years also. So chronologically, if you want to arrange, this one 99, this one 75, this one 99, this one 05. So answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer is A. So come to the 72nd question. Consider the following statement regarding currency swap. What is this currency swap agreement? It is agreement between two countries. Okay, take this is A and this is B. If this country, because now COVID is there, COVID-19, so economy is slowed down in almost every country. So definitely, if economy is slowed down, their foreign exchange reserves will decrease, because there won't be any foreign investments, and each country will have to pay their debts. They have to use these foreign exchange reserves, so it will decrease. When these decrease to the lowest level, what it will cause? Foreign exchange reserves, if it decreases to the lowest level, you won't be having any money to repay any foreign currency to pay back your debts or for trade or any other things. Okay, so to stabilize these foreign exchange reserves, you will have an agreement with the other countries. Now country A and country B, if these country B's foreign exchange reserves due to COVID reduced, okay, this country may feel that we have to get some foreign currencies to stabilize these foreign exchange reserves. What this country will do, it will go and ask to a country A with whom it's already have currency swap agreement, and it will borrow some dollars. Take it, it is getting $1 billion. Okay, if this country A is India, take example, RBI will give $1 billion to the country B. Okay, so at what rate it will give and to what period, this will be defined in the currency swap agreement itself. Okay, in this agreement it will be predetermined. Okay, for predetermined rate, it will lend money to the country B, RBI, to predetermined period. It will lend to money to this country B by RBI. So this is all about the currency swap agreement. Here you should know one thing, it's country A and country B. So it want to lend some money through currency swap. So India, if it is India, it doesn't mean that India will give money only in rupees. India can even give money in terms of dollars also, in terms of any other foreign currency. And the question is how long it will be. I already said it is predetermined. Though it is predetermined, it is not for a long term, because foreign exchange reserves, to fill these foreign exchange reserves, we are giving money. Okay, then soon after getting filled, after few months, it will give back to the RBI again. So it is for just short term, it is not for a long term period. This you should understand. So what is the statements now? Why I have asked this, because India has given money $400 million to Sri Lanka to boost Sri Lanka's foreign reserves and ensure financial stability of the country. That's why I have asked this, and it is very much in news, but UPSC has never asked this question for last 3 or 4 years. So this year it may ask, because COVID has impacted every country's economy and countries are borrowing money from other countries through currency swap. So it is better to know this concept. So it is an agreement or contract to exchange currencies with a predetermined terms and conditions between the country. Correct. It is to meet the long term. So it is wrong. Answer, it is short term only, right? Short term. So answer is A. Now come to the 73. Which of the following statements is correct regarding Mission Shakti? Why I have asked this question? Because USA and UK has accused Russia for test firing space-based anti-satellite weapon. Okay. Like this anti-satellite weapon is in news. So, what is Mission Shakti? It is the mission that has taken up to develop anti-satellite mission. Okay, by whom? By jointly by DRDO and ISRO. So what is the speciality of this anti-satellite weapon missile? This missile can be air, sea and land based. Means it can be launched through air or sea or from the land base. So how many countries till now have these anti-satellite weapons? USA, Russia, China, now India. So India is only fourth country which have anti-satellite weapons. Why it should have anti-satellite weapons? Because now satellite is one of the most strategic assets for any country, because if satellites were damaged, then the satellite communication will end, then the entire economy will collapse, and not only economy and security also, because everything now is depend upon ITC, information technology and communication. To attack moving satellites, mostly low earth orbit satellites. So anti-satellite is talking about what? It is of space, right? It is something above the earth. Okay, so for space there is one treaty, that is UN Outer Space Treaty. This UN Outer Space Treaty prohibits weapons of mass destruction in outer space. Now question arises that if these four countries have this anti-satellite missiles, right, in the space, okay, these are used for the space, in the space, so it will be directly violation of United Nations Outer Space Treaty, right? You may think like this, but it is not violation of United Nations Outer Space Treaty, because this deals with the weapons of mass destruction. Means what? Nuclear weapon, some chemical weapons, etc. Okay, but anti-satellite missile is ordinary missile. This treaty does not prohibit ordinary satellite, but it prohibits weapons of mass destruction. So anti-satellite weapons will not violate this treaty. And India is also ratified United Nations Space Outer Space Treaty. So come to the options now. Mission Shakti. Under this mission, anti-satellite system is developed. Anti-satellite system can be launched from the ground or planes, correct? Air, land or sea. It is the third country, no, it is the fourth country, right? So answer is A. Now come to the 74th question. Which of the following statement is or correct regarding smallpox? Recent research on smallpox claims that its origin is prehistoric. Okay, that's why it is in news. So when it says it is prehistoric, what are the other, next question you should think, that what are the other diseases are prehistoric in nature? Definitely you should think like this, that is plague and hepatitis B. We all know plague is caused by bacteria. I have explained you many times. This is by virus. Smallpox is caused by virus. The name of this virus is variola virus. Now let's see the options. It is the only one to have been eradicated by the vaccination, transmitted through droplets released from the coughing. Transmitted through the droplets released from the cough. So answer is C, because this is the completely fact. You should know it is the only disease which has been eradicated through vaccination. Don't think that polio has been eradicated. No, polio has not been eradicated, because wild polio still exists in the world. So this is all about this question. Come to the 75th question. This is word type question. Okay, I have already explained what are the types of questions that UPSC asks. In that, word type is one question. So which of the following is correct regarding Dare to Dream 0.2? So Dare to Dream 0.2 is something that this initiative or open challenge that you should know. Why you should know this is open challenge? Because this is also like a hackathon. It was also a open challenge scheme launched by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. It was asked in 2017, I guess 2017 or 18 prelims. So there are chances that UPSC may ask this year also. So Dare to Dream 2.0, it is an initiative taken by the, this is a fact, okay, nothing to explain here. It is an initiative taken by the Ministry of MSME to promote small scale industries. Definitely wrong. It is an open challenge to promote investors and startups for innovation in defense and aerospace technologies. It is open challenge to develop vaccines for COVID-19 India. See, when you don't know, right, these word type questions, what you may think, because it is very much in news and out of exam tension or stress, you may think that this is very much in news, this must be the answer. So majority of the people, okay, without knowing also they will click this answer, but answer will be B. That's why this one type of questions is very critical type questions, trap questions. So you should be very careful. Answer is C here. It is an open challenge, right? So whoever wins, if it is startup, for startup the award prize will be 10 lakhs, for individual 5 lakhs. That's it, you should know, nothing much. And come to the 76th question. Consider the following statements: backward contamination and forward contamination. Why I have asked this question? Because if you have observed, USA, countries like USA, China has launched rovers, landed their rovers in Mars. What are the project? Perseverance is a robot name. and USA right now has two rovers in Mars. One is Perseverance, another is Curiosity. China has its first rover which landed in 2020, that is 2021, that is Zhurong. So countries are looking forward to land their own rovers in Mars. So definitely if you are sending rover, right, see, microorganism will be attached to every equipment, that can be mobile phone, that can be anywhere. So rover also may have some microorganisms that we cannot see when it was in India, when it is in the earth. Then when they are transported to the Mars and landed in the Mars, then this Mars, in this Mars, these microorganisms will be presented, and this may change this Mars atmosphere. This is known as forward contamination, because from here to here it is microorganisms are carried. Knowingly or unknowingly. So what about the backward contamination? What these rovers are doing, they are drilling Mars land and they are collecting some material from Mars, and the future projects will be like getting back these material from Mars to Earth. Okay, it's fair enough, you will get back. But what about if some organisms presents in this whatever we have drilled here, new organisms will enter into India, so into Earth. It may cause again invasion of new microorganisms in Earth. So this is known as backward contamination, getting back to the Earth. Why I have asked this question? Because now everybody will read about rovers and missions to Mars or any other thing. But what if UPSC goes one step ahead and asks about backward contamination and forward contamination? There you should not get confused. That's why I have asked this question. Backward contamination means the transport of earth-based microorganisms to microbes, otherwise, to the celestial bodies. This is wrong. From celestial bodies to to Earth, the transfer of some celestial body to Earth is known as backward contamination. Forward contamination means what? Transfer of extra terrestrial organisms into Earth's biosphere. This is backward contamination. So answer is D. Come to the 77th question. Consider the following statements. As per the GST Act, the states are guaranteed compensation for any revenue shortfall below 14% growth. The compensation sets are collected on the supply of luxury and sin goods or services or both. Here you should know that about the GST. GST has been introduced in India in July 2017. Okay, by amending the constitution. This is 101 constitution. Okay, 101 Constitutional Amendment Act. It has amended. What is this GST does? All the indirect taxes, okay, is subsumed and it became one tax, that is GST. So when all the indirect taxes means here two things, center and state, both these two has power to tax on the product. Means what? Center taxes and state taxes and central taxes are subsumed under GST. Okay, these GST rates are fixed by whom now? GST Council. Okay, who is the chairman of GST Council? It is a finance minister. Okay, this is where it works. Now what is the issue with GST? Because GST came, now state has lost its power to tax on the products. Okay, so state definitely, GST is a one tax, just one tax, but state, if there is one product, in this product, for this product GST alone will be implemented. Before GST there will be VAT, there was excise duty, there was octroi, and there are many other taxes which state imposes. Okay, with this state used to get lot of money as a revenue. Because now only GST is there, state loses revenues now. Okay, so who will pay back this revenue deficit? Previously, imagine the state is getting 100 rupees revenue. Because GST came, now state is getting only 70 rupees as revenue. Who is giving back 30 rupees? To give back 30 rupees, the GST Act came up with a GST compensation fund. Okay, this fund says that whichever state faces shortfall in tax revenue, okay, whichever state faces shortfall in tax revenue, they will be giving fund, means compensation fund, for the period of 5 years, first 5 years from the implementation of GST. Means they when they will give this compensation fund, for every 2 months for 5 years they will give compensation fund. Okay, fine, you are giving, but how this GST compensation fund they have created, but from where money is getting into this fund? One, the sources of fund for this, the sources of money from this fund is cess levied on luxury and toxic products. 2, services. 3, either cess or both, taxing both, they may get money from for this compensation fund. Okay, now money, imagine the money is there in this fund now. Is it lapsable or non-lapsable fund? It is non-lapsable fund. Non-lapsable means what? If this in 2020, if this fund collected 100 rupees, take these 100 rupees should be spent in 2021 only. They cannot be transferred to the 2022. If they don't spend these 100 rupees, this will be evaporated. That's it. This is the meaning of non-elapsable. Why non-elapsable fund they have made instead of lapsable? Because there is no guarantee that central government will give funds to the states, right? Because the power of finance, the financial power is with the central government. Okay, to restrict its complete authority on the financial issues, these type of funds were established in GST compensation fund is non-elapsable, so that now central government have to distribute the fund with the state which is facing shortfall of revenue. If central government fail to use it, then it will be evaporated, it cannot be used next year, so they are forced to use it. These GST compensation fund, right, first it will, the money whatever the fund is, it will go to the Consulate Fund of India. From here it will go to the Public Account Fund of India, then to the state governments. Means it will be credited to Consulate Fund of India. This you should remember. So what are the issues now? Why it is in news suddenly? Because government has pledged that we will give funds, compensation funds to the states whose revenue falls below 14% growth. Okay, and the many states which fall below 14% growth, but the government has failed to give compensation for these states. Why it has failed to give? Because persistent economic slowdown. Because of this, the central government is not getting any money to give back to the states. And next one is effect of pandemic, is COVID-19. It has impacted the economy due to lockdown. And next one is estimation of 14% revenue growth itself is unrealistic. Not every state will get 14% growth in the revenue. It is unrealistic. So these are the issues. That's why it is in news. So let's see now options. Guarantee the compensation of any revenue shortfall below 14% growth. Correct. The compensation cess are collected to the supply, and this is also correct. So answer is C. These can be the prelims question, or this can be it is important for the mains also. Taxation. Come to the 78th question now. Which of the following is separated by Duncan Passage? Why I have asked this thing? Because of Galwan Valley was in news. Okay, here the China is trying to militarize. So now India should militarize Andaman and Nicobar, which is very near to the Malacca Strait. Malacca Strait is between Indonesia and Singapore. Okay, which is one of the important choke points of Indian Ocean. See, this is Indonesia, this is Andaman and Nicobar, this is Malacca Strait, this is India. So here I am asking about Duncan Passage. Though the issue is here in Galwan Valley, but India have to militarize Andaman and Nicobar to contain Chinese expansion in Indian Ocean. Okay, Chinese are looking to expand its power in the Indian Ocean. So that's why they are expanding their territorial limits in, this is South China Sea. One of the biggest issues in 21st century. Okay, so Duncan Pass is where? Duncan Pass is this is North Andaman, this is Middle Andaman, this is South Andaman. Here something will be, the gap will be there. Here Little Andaman will be there. So this gap which divides Little Andaman and South Andaman is Duncan Pass. Okay, what about the 10-degree channel? This 10-degree channel here, these 10-degree channel separates Little Andaman to the Nicobar Islands. Okay, so answer is A. Come to the 79th question. Consider the following statements. Ammonia reduces the amount of oxygen in water and increases the biological oxygen demand. Chlorination is a process to treat ammonium polluted waters. Why I have asked this question? This question I have asked because in Yamuna river, ammonia concentration has been increasing. Okay, which will affect living organisms including humans. Okay, and here you have to know that in 2018 or 19 UPSC has asked about ammonia is favorite topic for the UPSC. Okay, in 2018 or 19 it has asked in prelims about the sources of ammonia, agriculture or cattle or poultry. It has asked like this, something like this, 1 2 3. Okay, now because it has already asked about the sources, now it may ask about the impacts. Okay, so you should be ready with this question, with this concept. We all know that ammonia is not good to living organisms. Any chemical which is above the limit is not good to the living organisms. Okay, so it reduces the amount of oxygen in water. If oxygen in water, if oxygen is reduced, what happens? Biological oxygen demand will increase, obviously, because what is the biological oxygen demand? The microorganisms in water, the amount of oxygen needed for the microorganisms to break down the pollutants. When the microorganisms uses up lot of oxygen, then the amount of oxygen levels will reduce in the water. So the demand for the oxygen will keep on increasing. So this is known as biochemical oxygen demand. This is an important environment concept. And one of the process to treat ammonium polluted water is chlorination. So answer is C. I forgot to say one thing. See, ammonia is colorless gas. This everybody should know, and it occurs naturally also. Apart from the man-made, artificial, it occurs naturally also. So now come to the next question. 80. Very important question. Why it is very much important? Because of Rafale aircraft. India has received its first batch 5 out of 36 Rafales, and where they have landed in Ambala Air Force. Okay, so who developed this Rafale? This is developed by the French company. So when Rafale, Rafale is first major acquisition of fighters plane in 23 years after Sukhoi jets from Russia. So this is very much important for the UPSC because we have bought this much expensive and advanced aircraft after 23 years from French. We have bought from the French this time, not from Russia. So definitely you should know the specification of this Rafale. So Rafale is 3 single seated jet and 2 twin seated seats. Okay, and Rafale is twin engine multi role combat aircraft. Okay, it is capable of ground support, in-depth strikes, interceptions, and nuclear, most importantly, nuclear deterrence. You should know what is the range of Rafale. It's 3,700 kilometers. These are the specifications that you should definitely know about this. Okay, fine. Now what are the missiles this Rafale carries? That is 3 types of missiles. Definitely you should know. That gets from the Rafale will be loaded with this missile. This is Meteor. This is Scalp. This is MICA system. These can hit a target 300 kilometers away. This is very versatile air-to-air missile. Why it is versatile? Because it can be fired for short range and long range. These can target an enemy who is 150 kilometers away. So these are the 3 missiles which comes from with Rafale. So you should know this. This is all about the Rafale. You definitely remember. It may be asked because in 2020 UPSC has not asked. If they have to ask, definitely they have to ask in 2021. So this can hit target of 300 kilometers. Wrong, it is 150. Scalp cruise, beyond visual range air-to-air missiles. This is also wrong. This is actually this one. MICA system, air-to-air missile can be used for this is correct. So answer is A. And which of the following statement is correct regarding black rain? Black rain is what? It is just word type question which is in use, and it is very attractive word also. So there are many chances that UPSC may ask. What is black rain? Black rain is, see, when you throw nuclear bomb, okay, this nuclear bomb will blast, right? Then it will produce smoke like this on the like a mushroom shape. This smoke will be having all radioactive elements. When rain occurs, this rain will take away all these nuclear elements with it. Because the nuclear incident happened here, the all buildings and other infrastructures will get collapsed, and with this it will take all the pollutants with it, and it will give rain. These rain droplets will be very thick because these rain droplets consist of now radioactive materials and the pollutants of these debris. Okay, so these are very heavy, and this looks like black in color. This is known as black rain. Where the black rain happened? in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan? It is in news. Black rain is in news. So I have asked this question. You should know. See, what is the first question? The industrial pollutants combined with the vapor in the atmosphere and come back as a dark drops of liquid. Is it industrial pollutants? No, wrong. But if you don't know what is black rain, you may think it is right because pollution is very much in news. Debris and soot from the buildings and mixed with the radioactive fallout with the vapor in the atmosphere and came back as a dark drops of liquid. This is correct. And the rainfall which caused due to the warming of Black Sea. This is wrong, obviously. This is just to trap you. Black Sea, okay, Black Sea is there and warming will happen, so it is known as rain will fall here due to conventional rain, due to convection of raising air columns. You may think like this. This is a trap question, that's why, because these processes will happen across all the seas and oceans, around land also, so it is not a big deal. So answer is B. Come to the 82nd question. Why I have asked about this? Because it is obviously in news because of Galwan standoff. 1/3 of it is actually lake. 1/3 of lake is under the control of India. Rest 2/3 is under the control of China. So where it is? It is in Ladakh. So Ladakh is in the Jammu Kashmir state, or is it separate union territory? It is separate union territory, and Jammu Kashmir itself is not a state, it is also union territory. So before 2019 August 4th till 2019 August 3, Jammu Kashmir is a union territory and it is in the union territory. Jammu Kashmir is a state and it is in Jammu Kashmir state. After on 2019 August 4, Jammu Kashmir became 2 union territories because government has abolished Article 370. So now this is wrong. Eliminate 1. 2 is compulsory correct, and it is Ramsar site. No, it is not Ramsar site, so answer is C. You should remember that it is the world's highest saltwater lake. Now come to the 83rd question. Which of the following bodies falls under the purview of public authority under right to act? Why it is in news? Because Supreme Court gave a judgment. About what? It gave a judgment saying that CJI office will come under public authority definition of Right to Information Act, and the Supreme Court also comes under the public authority definition under Right to Information Act. So now these Right to Information Act provisions will be applicable to the Supreme Court, and CAG is part of the Supreme Court, so it will also applicable to the CAG also. This is the judgment, and you have to go through that judgment. It is a big judgment. It may be useful for the mains. So which all will come? This one will come because Supreme Court has clarified. This will come. Political parties will come or not? It will not come. So answer is 1 and A. Still there is this is a controversy because political parties are resisting to declare themselves as a public authority under RTI Act. So let's take up 84th question. Consider the following statement regarding Manodarpan. See, Manodarpan is a word type question. It is just an initiative to provide psychosocial support to students, teachers, parents during pandemic, lockdown, which has affected them psychologically. This is the thing. So it related to the health. It provides for the psychosocial support to the students, parents and teachers, correct. It provides students only means wrong. It provides students means fine, and only comes means it's wrong, because it also provides to the teachers and parents. It has been launched by the Ministry of Health. Correct or wrong? This is wrong, because it is launched by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, means Ministry of Education. Okay, I have given this wantonly because to make you understand that like this UPSC, this is very easy question, but UPSC for this easy also it will make it very tricky by adding Ministry of Health. If you don't know this very clearly about Ministry of MHRD, you will definitely think this is correct, because it deals with the psychological health, so you will think that health is correct. So answer is A. Which of the following is a constitutional body? This is a constitutional body. Article 338 A. This is 38. Article 338 A is this. This is also constitutional body. Article 338 B. Recently it has made as constitutional body by passing 102 Constitutional Amendment Act. What is 101 Constitutional Amendment Act? GST. What is the 102 Constitutional Amendment Act? Reservation for EWS. You should remember this. What is 100 Constitutional Amendment Act? Between India and Bangladesh land agreement. That's it. So come to the 86th question. Consider the following statement regarding Gram Sabha. Why it is in news suddenly Gram Sabha? Because Bombay High Court has passed interim order directing the government servants of local authority be appointed as administrators of Gram Panchayats in Maharashtra. So Gram Sabha is in news like that. So what you should know about Gram Sabha? Let's see the options. The term Gram Sabha is defined in the Constitution. Defined. You should know whether it is defined or mentioned or provides. Okay, all the members of the village can participate in Gram Sabha. Is it all the members or some members or few members? Who you should know. And the decision taken by Gram Sabha cannot be annulled by any other body except it. So what is the tricky here? Is it defined or not in the Constitution? It is provides or it mentioned. What is mentioned in the Constitution? Yes, it is defined, correct, under Article 243 subclause B. It has been defined. Okay, this is correct now. What about this? All the members of the villages can participate in Gram Sabha. Is it correct? What is Gram Sabha? Gram Sabha is, it is defined, right? Gram Sabha is what? It is all the persons whose name are included in the electoral rolls for the panchayat in the village level. So whose names are included in the electoral rolls, right? So only those people can participate in the Gram Sabha, as simple as that. Means what? All the eligible voters of the village can participate in the Gram Sabha. So here all the eligible voters of the village can participate. And what about this? This is correct. It cannot, the decision taken by the Gram Sabha cannot be annulled by the any other body except itself. It's correct. So answer is D. Come to the 87th question. With reference to the contempt of the court, why it is in news? Because Prashant Bhushan, the court has moved contempt of the court against Prashant Bhushan. It became a very big issue during July 2020. So definitely you should know about the contempt of the court is not only important for the prelims but also important for the mains. Should know that articles. What is that articles? Article 229, Article 142 subclass 2, Article 215. Okay, these will grant Supreme Court power to punish contempt of its court. It gives High Court the same power. This is enables Supreme Court to investigate and punish any person for its contempt. Okay, these are the three articles. Definitely you should remember, and these three articles should be in your introduction in mains. So defines the expression, or whether it defines or mention what you should know it. Constitution provides the judiciary power to contempt of the court. It provides or not? So what is the answer now? Is correct? Is it defined? Constitution defined or not? Definitely it has not defined. It has just mentioned. It doesn't define. It provides. Yes, I have told you. Article 129, Article 215, Article 142, subclass 2. It provides for the judiciary the power to punish for contempt of the court. Okay, then who defines this expression? It is Contempt of Court Act 1971. It defines civil contempt and criminal contempt. So this is the difference between polity book, that it can be Lakshmikant, and the Constitution. Why? When you are reading Supreme Court chapter in polity book, you will definitely read about the contempt of court, and you will come across civil contempt definitions and provisions, criminal contempt definition and provisions. And when in examination, how you think, okay, it is mentioned in the polity, I have read in Supreme Court chapter, so it is defined by the Constitution. Because it is not differentiated what are the Constitution provisions and what are the Supreme Court interpretations or some laws, you may get confused and you will think it is right, but in reality the Contempt of Court Act 1971 defines these two things. Constitution just provides the judiciary the power, and it mentions about the content of the court. That's it. So answer is B. Come to the 88th question. Consider the following statements regarding special leave petition. Why it is in news? Because Article 136, the special leave petition Maratha, reservation issue was started in the Supreme Court. We all know what is the judgment now. The Supreme Court gave judgment recently in 2021. I don't want to go into judgment, but we are talking this about 2020 July, right? Current affairs. So I am talking about it. What is the special leave petition? What are the powers of the court under special leave petitions? The Constitution of India provides the power to Supreme Court of it provides or not? It provides or not? Definitely you should know. Is it the Constitution or some other law? You should know. The remedy under the special leave petition is constitutional right. Is it constitutional right? It is available against any judgment or any order of court or tribunal in territory of India. So what is right here? This is right. This is right. When constitutional provides, automatically it will become a constitutional right. Now you should not think like this. It is discretionary power of Supreme Court right. How come it is a constitutional right for the individual? So yes, it is a right of individual to have a special leave petition, but he may apply this special leave petition because he have constitutional right under Article 136, but it is a discretionary power for the Supreme Court whether to accept this or not. That's it. This is the difference you should know. So it is not available to every court. It is available to every court actually, but except to martial courts, judgment, military tribunals. This much you should know. If you know this much, it is enough. So answer is A. So come to the 89th question. Which of the following countries are part of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Deal? Why I have asked this question? Because India and UK discussed about the free trade agreement between them, but it is just in talks, so UPSC will not ask, but definitely it may ask about Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Deal, okay, in which India has opted out. Why it has opted out becomes mains question. There are many reasons. One is origin of rules and services issues and base year issues and trade balance issues and unable to accommodate India's demands. I'm just giving subheadings, okay? You have definitely learn about these things and write in mains if they ask. And you should know about RCP also. What is the RCP? What are the population present in the countries, percentage of population, the contribution to the GDP, and the future predictions of the GDP, world GDP. Everything you should know about this. And here one more point is even the domestic industries are opposed it. Milk industries, etc., poultry industries like that, textile industries like that. So India has opted out, but till recently it was in the discussion. So which are the countries now? You remove 2 now. 2 is gone. Thailand, Singapore, China, all are there. So answer is B. ASEAN plus 5 countries. Previously it was 6, now 5 because India opted out. What are these 5? China, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and South Korea. And ASEAN countries, there are 10 countries. You should know which are these 10 countries. So answer is B. Come to the last question of this July current affairs material. Base questions. Consider the following statement regarding powers of government. One of the most important questions for prelims, if not for prelims, for mains. Powers of governor. So, the constitution authorized the governor to summon, dissolve, prorogue of the state legislative assembly. It is authorized or not? Definitely you should know this. The power to summon the house can be done whenever he wish. He means governor. Wish to do. Yes, constitution authorized 174 article. Authorize the governor to summon, dissolve, okay, all these things. Now the question arises, because the constitution authorized, it can be done, he can summon at any time whenever he wish. You can easily conclude. Okay, but this is wrong, because here you should know, here this is how you should write the governance paper. Without judgments you cannot prove. Judgment in 2016 of Supreme Court. What is that case name? Case name is Nabam Rebia versus Deputy Speaker, Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. In this case, what Supreme Court has said? Supreme Court has said that the power to summon the house is solely not vested in the governor, though he is authorized under Article 174 to summon the house, but these will be activated. This article will get activated only when Council of Ministers advises him to summon. Okay, this is under Article 163. Sorry, 4. It's 163, not 4. 163. Okay, it will be activated only the Council of Ministers will advise him. Governor has discretionary powers, which is already mentioned under 163 subclass 1. Only here he will be having discretionary powers. He cannot use his discretionary powers wherever he wants. What are the governor discretionary powers now is the question. He can report the presidential rule under Article 350. He can reserve state bills for the president. When he is given additional charge as administrator of union territory. Okay, he has to determine the amount payable by the government of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram to the autonomous tribal district council. Okay, and Article 78, you just go and read the provisions of Article 10. All these things, under these things, governor has constitutional discretionary. Situational discretionary is different from the constitutional discretionary. So now UPSC may ask about the constitutional discretionary or situational discretionary. Okay, because this is very traditional question, it may not ask. It may ask dynamic questions. So definitely you should know about the Nadam Rebia and Deputy Speaker case and what happened in the Rajasthan government crisis issues, because in Rajasthan government crisis is because it has sent twice proposals to the governor to convene session for the floor test to prove their confidence. Okay, but governor twice he has sent it back. This is also violation. Once if they send, he can send back only once. If they again send, he have to do it. Whatever the bill, he have to make assent. Otherwise, if they ask to summon, he have to summon like that. This is also violation. So this is actually happened in Rajasthan in Rajasthan in July 2020. And now what is it is authorized? Yes, he cannot do it. This is wrong because it has been said wrong by Nadam Rabia versus deputy collector. Again I am saying these judgments to find in editorials is very difficult, or in any newspapers is very difficult. That's why I am giving here. So now the answer is A. So we have completed now July month current affairs question. Tomorrow onwards we are going to start August month. Okay, till now we have completed 90 questions from June, May, and 90 questions from July. So totally 180 topics, 180 completely different topics, and which are very 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 important topics. I have discussed in depth. Whoever has not taken notes of these topics cannot remember all 180 topics. So I urge them to take always notes to revise. Now, thank you. That's it.